Welcome to day 3 of Anne's Fall Look Week of Webisodes. And isn't it fun? We get to have Anne about 3 times a year, so that's great. And Anne has been playing in the darkroom.
With our new darkroom collection, we have papers, scrapbooking dazzles, paper toll, and lots of other fun surprises.
We do. Sound interesting? Come play with us. This is part of the darkroom collection.
Right.
We're going to bring in all these pieces. I have to tell you, this is my very favorite for the whole year.
Oh, it is a beautiful and very kind of eclectic look.
It is. Well, let's start with the papers. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Let's scoot these over.
All right.
And darkroom is the name, but don't think it's only about photographs. Now, the package, of course, is going to give you a scrapbook page, it's going to give you cards, and then it's going to give you, even more, okay? And this is a great, putting that film strip along the edge, and then you've got the kind of pieces of, well, let's look at the paper, Paulette.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, here it is. And it is just, this is the kind of ephemera look that you were talking about.
This is just beautiful. It almost looks like it's on fire with that beautiful light colors. There's so much depth in this paper alone.
There really is. So you've got, going down into it, you can see the blotches of color, but then there's also a tile pattern.
And you've got these touches of turquoise and these swirls down there that just really add something to it.
And the rust color, you've got the overlapping film strips, and then you can see the swirls and flourishes through it. It's just spectacular. Now, I'm not going to show you the back side right now. Let's go to a little bit different one. Now, this is an all-over pattern, and I want a room in my house like this because this is just beautiful. Same idea, a depth of color, a depth of imagery in this. And as you can see, as John's zooming in,
this great tile pattern that's just beautiful.
And it just looks like starbursts in it. Then we have a text pattern, but it's in columns, and then there's an overlay of other words on top that are kind of hard to read. But as you see through it, and that's what I love about what our designers do, is as you see through it, you can see these washes of color behind. It's just spectacular. And then there is an overall, now this is kind of camera lenses as you go in. You might think of it as flowers, whatever you like. But again, it's going to have the light and dark tones. Then we have a stripe, and the stripe is going to pick up patterns from all of the papers, and there's going to be the fun film strip. See a little bit of text. As you can see, there's some cameras. I'll show you that in a minute. And then we have a brown, which is also having the variety of shades going into it. So
this one reminds me of a Rembrandt or something. It's just
it does, doesn't it?
Like an oil painting.
Then as we flip them over, you can see there are
more text and cameras. Beautiful.
Very fun to use. We have, again, kind of the iris of a camera, or not, as you wish. Then we have an all-over pattern. Again, as I move this around, you can see that there's the browns, the golds, the blues, and it just has this mottled shape behind it. Then there is another gold. Isn't that just stunning? And then we have, again, that iris and again, the deep of the colors through it. And then look at this. We want to pick out that teal. So we have this beautiful, actually that'd be a pretty room too, don't you think?
Oh, that is. That is beautiful.
So you get 2 each of everything that I've shown you. So 12 sheets in this pack, and I'm going to leave that over so you can
get these beautiful ribbons that mix and match with this great set. You get a nice wide crepe in a 1.5 inch wide. You've got browns, you've got swirls, and to pick up the teal, you've got a grosgrain in this burgundy color, more of the sheer. So there's a nice variety of lots of different things to play with. I like I'm trying to get down to the stitch. There's a stitched edge, there's a dotted here, we've got got a glimmer, and each of these come in 36-inch lengths. There are 12 different ribbons in there.
And the dazzles. The dazzles are wonderful. They are copper. Now this is our new layout of dazzles. So we have a bigger sheet. They are 8 inches by 9 inches, and there are 2 of them, 2 different sheets. And then you get another little one. So let me turn this over so we can get in close. All of these this time are in copper. So that's 111 pieces. Now that's not including the innies, but you can see cameras, we've got words, we've got imagery, we've got
border strips. I love that some of the film strip border strips are just really very cool.
And card makers, this is going to work really well for you, as we will show you later on.
As well as scrapbooking. We have the Darkroom die cuts. So you get 2 sheets in here, so you're going to get 64 of these all together. So 2 of these same sheets. In labels, you have thin labels, you have tags. I love the old cameras that are on here.
Very fun.
It's just filled with these old cameras. They look like a real photo. And then you have big wide areas that you can computer journal on or write on. Little film strips, all individual.
And many of these have a center, so you can pop those out or not. And then another kind of plain frame going where you can have multiple things inside. 64, did you say that?
64 die cuts on 2 sheets. We also have the picture perfect 3D paper toll die cuts. And on this one, you're going to get 3 images, and each one of them are numbered. So you follow the numbers. Here's number 1, number 2, number 3. You just stack them on top of each other.
With foam tape?
With foam tape. And I love this one. This is the background. The next piece that goes on it is this one, so there's this nice cutout, and you'll see how that gets used on some of our projects.
And we have embellies. There are 28 of them. And you'll see that there are epoxy brads, so some nice big ones like the smile down here, flash and finish with the cameras.
These are super fun, plus you get those tags that go with them.
And they're going to be attached with one of the pearl brads.
And those can be journaled on as well.
Very fun. So as you can see, nice variety.
And why don't you tell us all about this one?
There are 2 of these sheets of acetate, and they're the film strip. And what's kind of interesting is we thought we were out of these, actually, and we discovered them. Okay, we were cleaning and we found them. So you're going to get 2 sheets. So I'm pretty excited, and it just works so well with the Darkroom. And wait till you see what you can do.
They are so
Cut them
fun.
Apart, and this is one of the sheets. You get 2 of them. And we
have the camera eyelets. I can't remember how many there are in a pack. Do you remember?
I think there's 8 or 10, something like that.
So 8 or 10 of those. They're very cute. You can see the tiny little camera.
And in keeping with our camera thing, we have a little camera stamp, and it's going to say "Focus on the good times," a little heart, and so that's all beautiful. The goodies.
I love the swirls on here. It matches up with those papers, so it's just the whole collection goes together beautifully.
So we're going to start with Anne's first card, and she's using just a couple of things. Of course, the papers and those copper scrapbooking dazzles
on parts of that film strip acetate. So she cut out several squares of it and just collaged them together.
And isn't that neat how she put 2 of them straight, well, one straight, one horizontally, and the one under both of them, and using those to kind of frame her dazzles. Just beautifully done.
She backed the dazzles on some of the papers and then put them on top of that acetate. Here's one of my favorite part of the scrapbooking dazzles are these, because you can sort of put them in a corner off of an edge, and it just makes this nice little statement.
It does. Beautifully done. And I love the copper with the brown. It's just smashing. And on the inside, I Heart Us. Now, she took some of the dazzles and cut them apart to make this.
The one here that you're seeing here is actually the center of the film strip border scrapbooking dazzles. She just took one of the innies and used it as an eye.
So you can follow that. And again, one of the frames. So this was just one of the strips, and there are 4 strips, 2 sheets. So, and look at the cameras down below. So if you're thinking, I mean, this is really nice. If you're thinking that, oh, well, this is only about cameras, well, this is talking about relationships. We click. Yes, I Heart Us. Very nice. Now, Anne has done a scrapbook page, and look what she did. This is when Anne and I were doing the Webisodes, and I am not, look at this, Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. There we are.
So follow along.
Happy and giggly.
It is such a cute use of the film strip acetate. It's just wonderful.
Isn't that fun? Now, I wonder if she's showing the time that she almost sprayed me with some, maybe she didn't. I know that the viewers loved it. What good memories, fun times in the studio with Paulette and Ann for October.
So what a great combination. In the back, you're seeing the striped paper from the paper set, so it's just one large piece.
And as we back up, you know, I would have thought that would have been too busy, and yet what it gives is this background of stuff happening.
Right.
And
it sort of looks like, you know, there's a depth of more film strips going on back there,
which there is. And the way that copper just flashes, very fun, and I love it. Thank you for doing this. Very, very
so
fun.
So cute. I love the embellish. This is one of the embellish here with that little quotation or quip there is computer journaled right onto the tag that came with that embellish.
Right, very nice. And notice the ribbons. I mean, the ribbons are really a great supporting role. So the grosgrain, there's another piece, and just a couple of bows just to add. And how the dazzles focus on the good times. Isn't that just perfect?
Wonderful.
Very nice. Now here is a scrapbook page that Susan did, I believe.
No, I did this
You
one.
did this. Oh,
yep.
Great. As I said that, I was thinking, I don't know, that's right. But isn't this just smashing? And I love the mix of things.
It's fun. It's a fun use of the acetate. So here's the acetate actually backing with photos, like Ann did. This is just another way to use it. And this one was kind of fun. I took the dazzle, backed parts of it on papers, and then put the rest of it on a piece of acetate. So if you lift it, it's actually lifted up, and you can see the acetate behind it.
I see that. That way it could hold together nicely.
Right.
And then there's the die cut right underneath it.
Right, underneath it. And some of the other die cuts, I love the film strip die cut, and you punch a little hole and you've got a brad there.
And adding a film strip along the side, very
I love the
nice.
arrows. The arrows are straight off of the scrapbooking dazzles as well. You can use them a lot. You just sort of where you want your eye to go to, and framing a photo with one of the dazzles works.
Now this is the smaller dazzles that has the film strip borders.
It does. I actually kind of like to show you something with those film strip borders.
Okay.
When you're removing them, you're going to get, they are along the edges of the film strip border. There are these tiny little holes there. Now you can see them. Tiny little dots that they will come out individually. You can use those on things. But when you're pulling them off, they don't always come off when you pull it off of the sheet. So let me show you. They don't just automatically come off. See, a lot of them, in fact, are coming off when I pull that up. Some of them stayed, some of them didn't. An easy way, I'm trying to, okay, on camera here, the easy way to remove this, as I've got a piece of acetate here, is just to place the dazzle on acetate, just sort of run it along there, and then I'm going to press it just a little bit lightly, and then I'm going to lift it right back off of the acetate, and it'll hold on to those. If I need to press it a little more, I will. It'll hold on to those little pieces and allow me to pick that up.
So you kind of give it a second shot.
Right.
At
so
it.
now that's clean, and all of those little pieces are lifted out.
So you could just save the plastic that's on the packaging of everything.
Yeah, that would work
just use that.
just fine for that.
Okay. And one other little, I mean, I just don't think we give enough attention to the ribbons. So taking two links, handling them as one, and tying a knot, and then just doing the ends at an angle.
And that was actually three.
Was it three?
There are three of them. There's a black, that burgundy, and then that sheer burgundy on top.
Very nice. So focus on the good times works well. Now we're going to add something that's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, it's an unexpected look.
It is. And this is the iris folding. Now this is the paper towel, that frame that you talked about. But look what the woman has done.
Right. She used Teresa's hexagon iris folding template that was designed by Teresa Welch. And here's that big hexagon pattern area. So you can use these, or you can use a piece from the paper towel, which is here. Here's a frame. It's already got a window in it. And what Ann did is she turned this over and sort of centered it over that area. Excuse me, that's right. She put the little star part right on there. I'm going to turn it just a little bit. Then you tape that in place, just a couple of little pieces of
stencil tape.
Thank you. Stencil tape on there should hold that in place. And then you start on the outside, and I've got some of the little iris folding strips, and we're going to need some of the tape, transparent tape as well. And yeah,
was
these
that for
were
me
used
to get ready with transparent tape? Okay.
So this is with the the gold metallic specialty paper, and then these are the strips from some of the papers from the set. They were cut, and you can get the dimensions either on the template or in the gallery with the instructions. And you fold back every one of them and score it a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to start. Let's see, on the outside, I think she started with the gold. And you just start, she said, just start anywhere on the outer edge just to make it look nice. So you look at find the area that is the smallest there, and you start taping it down. I'm going to try to get it close to the edge, and afterwards I'm going to cut it around so that it fits behind the edge of this. So I'm just going to tape it down like so, and you want to tape it to the frame that we're using. I think I'm going to go ahead and set another one. So she did all of these solid colors. She did all of that in gold. So I'm going to put the next one on gold as well and tape that in place. And yeah, so you just continue around with the gold like so.
You do keep the fold toward the center of your project.
Correct.
So that's just something to remember. And notice we're on the back side of the project and the icky side of the iris folding papers.
Right. I would probably put a little tape on each end of this, but I'm trying to do it quickly. Once you do all of the gold, then you move on to the next color. That's going to start right about here, and you start layering that.
And we're starting with the smallest number, whatever that is on the sheet. In this case, it was in the 20s, but that's perfectly fine.
Right. So anyway, that's the way you do it. You just keep stacking them on top of each other. Once you get this on there, and I'm going to pull off the tape so I can show you, and you pull it, let's see, pull the stencil tape off, and you turn it over. If you've taped it all nicely together, which if you use enough tape, you turn it over, you can start to see the iris effect. You can see that.
So it's starting to happen.
Right.
And in this case, Teresa used the gold a couple of times.
Anne did.
Or, excuse me, Anne used the gold a couple of times on Teresa's template.
Right.
And so that just adds, and I think it's interesting that she used gold and the burgundy suede in getting this, and then the copper dazzles. So, but they all work beautifully together. That was a surprise.
I love the addition of the embelly right on the top here, and I also love the corner scrapbooking dazzles placed on the corners of the paper towel.
Who knew that would work?
Right. So all of the after you're done with all of this, it all has to be cut clean with the edges, so that all of that iris folding papers that will stick out, you just cut them off.
And her message there comes from the birthday cheer dazzles. So start each day like it's your birthday, which is really a nice thing to do. On the inside, she has used more of the darkroom paper, the one that I want in my house.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
With the burgundy, isn't that just a beautiful combo?
Backed or even matted one of the dazzles here, one of the camera dazzles, and there's those swirls. You can just kind of place them anywhere.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So then we're going to move to this one. Now we're going to be adding the embellies. And as you can see, they're doing a nice little job here of three little arrays on each side of the strip, the acetate strip. This is out of the paper or the die cuts?
Those are the die cuts.
Okay.
So the die cuts of these old-fashioned cameras, but they're super glittery. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that on camera?
Getting close.
There we go.
Ah, there you go.
They're super glittery. They don't come like that. You sort of have to add that. And Anne did that with this glitter dust. It's spray glitter. And it comes in silver and gold.
Right.
She used gold, but I want to show you real quick what that can look like.
And I'm going to bring in a box that's lined with newspaper. And I think it's appropriate that we're doing this on an Anne's Week of Webisode. Anne, are you watching? This is how you don't spray me, sweetie.
We take precautions now. So I've got a can of the silver. I'm shaking it up really well, and I'm just going to spray it. And I'm going to spray it off the edge first, and so that I know that I'll get a nice clean. There you go. So there you go, silver glitter.
How gorgeous.
You want to let that dry. I have to say, it's
Wow.
best to do this outside. You
It
want
is.
a little bit, yeah, you want a little bit of air going around, but it
It would
does
be
give you
good.
a beautiful look.
That is beautiful, and we're going to remove that away
Uh-huh.
from Paulette. The other thing that Anne has used is the hammered gold. Now, if you can see up here, just a little bit, and that's what I so appreciate, because specialty paper is more costly, but you really can just use little pieces of it, and that
Right.
works very, very nicely.
I think, did you mention the stamping on there?
I did not.
So the stamping has been done on one of those acetate film strips, yeah, and it was done with black stays-on ink. You
Right.
can't emboss, heat emboss on those films. That's
Right,
not
not a-
heat embossed.
Oh, I'm
it's not
so glad you
It's not
said that.
heat-resistant acetate.
It's
is what I
not.
mean. Right.
So friends don't let friends do stupid things alone. Friends stay with you to capture everything on camera.
That's great.
Very
She
good.
journaled that on there, so you can journal that right on the paper. That doesn't come with the stamp set.
Right, and so you've got the camera eyelet right there. We don't see eyelets very much anymore. And then we have the smile
Nice big
embellies.
smile embellies.
Very-
Just
Again, the
beautiful
striped paper.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
It's not too busy to use. I love also that behind the acetate you've got part of one of the die cuts here, and the other half is on that side. So she cut it in half
Very
and
clever.
split them apart.
Because it really draws your eye right there, but I love the fact that the camera's up there. Very, very fun. Now we're going to go into a window, and we're adding now the paper toll, and this has also been blitzed.
It has been glittered. So if you, there you go, the actual die cuts, or the paper toll has been
Right.
glittered quite a bit. And on the outside, she cut the centers from the acetate window. So all you have is that black strip that's together there. So that's
Right.
wonderful.
Gorgeous. Now, interesting that she found some rhinestones, and they are brown.
Isn't that
And
nice?
you know, I don't know that you would think about round rhinestones, but
Well,
there
they
you
don't.
go.
They're not going to overpower it. I mean, you really want
Right.
everybody looking here and at the
Yes.
stamping that you've done. So there's just a little bit of glitz to add color to that, and that beautiful crepe.
So thinking of you with love and caring, and on the inside, know that you are loved. How just beautiful.
And here's another way of cutting. So you've got that stacked paper toll, and then you just cut it even with this side and put the tail end up here. That's
Right.
just a great look.
It is a great look, and there's another of the die cuts with more. And again, the stripe is going vertically. Anne has a really, she will really use very busy papers in very unique ways, and I just so appreciate that. So beautifully done.
That's
I like
a
the
really
window.
fun piece. I like the window too.
Now here is another of the paper toll, and this time with the
mocha suede.
Right.
So that was on the background, but there's also some really beautiful matting going on. I don't know if you've noticed right around the edge of that paper, there is this beautiful copper
Now
matting.
that looks like the dazzle material.
It is. So she just took edges of the dazzle sheet, cut them off, and used them to mat behind the edges of that paper.
Because of course you would not want to throw that away.
Well, of
that would
course
be
not.
silly.
Well, it's beautiful. I also love the way she put the flash embelly right in the center of the
and then
paper
these
toll.
two also
Right.
very nicely done. And focus on the good times.
Oh, that's from
the
our
camera.
small camera
Mhm.
stamp. Focus on the good times.
And then on the inside, we've got lots of room to write a message. Beautiful paper, gorgeous.
Just beautiful.
Now this was a fun one. Debbie did this, and I thought it was really clever that she used the brown holographic
Right.
for the flash.
Right on one of the little starbursts, you just put
Right.
that right in the center. That's a great
Isn't that just
look.
perfect for
Yeah.
the paper toll? And what I like is that with the paper toll being paper, not foil,
Right.
it allows the flash to really be fun
Right.
to do. So
And that's funny. You just keep turning it, and it
Yeah.
just keeps flashing.
it just keeps flashing.
That's a-
So very
that's a
fun.
neat look. I like that too.
Now this is using that paper toll in one fell swoop. You talked about how Anne cut it off and had
Right.
the film strip
But
on
here
the
it
other
is,
side.
pretty much in all its glory. And actually, the edges have been inked with some gold stays on.
I see that.
And then it's been, the dazzles have been added, so strategic little places. You can use little bits of the dazzles here and there.
And actually, that's a nice thing to remember, that you can take those swirls and flourishes and add them to anything. Don't you
Right.
love the cameras going across the
top, the
right,
eyelet. So
fold?
they've actually been put right into the paper so you can see through them there to the back black piece.
We click, and then on the inside, smile. So you know that smile is from the Dazzles. Just beautifully done. Now I had to bring this back. I think we've shared this before, but it was just too good not to share again. So this is the rectangular shutter card base, or you can use the template.
I believe this one was done on the template.
I think you're right.
Because it looks like it's been done on craft paper.
And look how that giant paper towel extends off the front flap, and you can see a couple of papers being used, those wonderful Dazzles, and then smile with a photo.
That is such a neat idea. That's
Very
great.
fun.
And actually that strip on the center is a piece from the striped paper.
It is, and very clever to use there.
Really
so
cute. We click.
I just couldn't resist bringing that in. Now, we want to focus on our little camera stamp, and wow, this is just quite attention-getting.
So we've got two really interesting things going on. First, you've got that mirror finish from the mirror sheets that we were talking about just yesterday. I think yesterday.
Okay, or Monday.
And
one or the other.
it's got adhesive on the back, and she stamped on here with black stays on, put 3 of those great camera eyelets in there, and that's your big focal, but the background is amazing all by itself.
Now, what is the, now this is obviously the camera stamp multiple times.
So we've got the camera stamp, we've got a piece of the darkroom paper in that brown. From the Perfect Pearls, I've got the Sunflower Sparkle, and I've got the Perfect Medium. And she just stamped it. Now, I'm not going to be able to line it up. She stamped it nicely. I'm sure that she used a ruler or something to eyeball it and make it look nice. But she stamped it multiple times.
Maybe if you just stamp one, huh?
We'll do one. But you stamp it multiple times and then just go over them with the Perfect Pearls. So I'm going to ink that up really good with the Perfect Medium that comes with the pastel set, and I think I've got it right side up. So I'm just going to do it once, right down here. Make sure that that's on there real well, and then you've got the Sunflower Sparkle, and I've got one of the brushes that comes with it. And you
now
just
notice
bounce
that
it
you're
on there.
using the big brush, even though this is a small stamp, and so you don't have to worry about it fitting.
Right, it does just fine. Look at,
and it just magically
look at how
appears.
that, and then you brush it off after you just swirl it a little bit.
How gorgeous!
And here, so you can see that sparkle.
Yes.
It's just instant sparkle.
But how clever to do it in multiple stamps.
Right.
And
To creating your own background paper.
Gorgeous. You know, you're just not half bad, Anne. Now, this again is that edge of the Dazzles.
No, that's
No,
not
that's the
Dazzle,
mirror.
That's the
That's the
mirror.
mirror.
Paper.
You're right. That's the mirror.
Because
I'm
it
sorry.
matches
'Cause it's
this
gold.
part.
It's
right.
not copper.
She's got the focus on the right, stamped on there.
And then the inside,
that's
isn't
cute.
that fun?
I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
So she stamped and stays on right onto the paper.
Right.
Right off the edges. Very
Perfectly
cute.
done. Now we have one last one using the camera, and look at this beauty. So we have the Dazzles that are on the small piece
Right.
in the scrapbooking Dazzles, and she's used the acetate, so that's what's going this way. And then the stamp has been done multiple times.
Multiple times with copper embossing powder. That's copper zing glitter embossing powder.
And that's what that looks like.
that.
You can really tell
It's
that's going
super
to.
zingy.
It's super zingy.
And she just stamped it several times on different papers and embossed it, heat embossed it. So that's just a really neat look. I love that the acetate is actually sitting on top of the entire piece.
Right.
She also mentioned that when she put these film strips this way, the Dazzles film strips perfectly fit the black band that goes between them.
Very good.
Fits
Now,
it perfectly.
this one, she
Right.
let it show onto the inside.
She cut a window through the card to go through that one
Right.
so you could see the smile.
And back the smile, matted it on black.
Now that smile, I guess it does come individually. I thought
Yeah.
maybe it was connected, so you've got that. That's great.
Yeah, that's one of the
Great look.
Dazzles. She's got 2 Dazzles on top.
On top and then that
So
below.
just gorgeous.
A great
And I
look.
know you love the free downloads. And just to give you a taste of what it is, this is what it looks like. And that's free. Even if you don't elect to buy the Darkroom,
see.
you can still use it. So got that for you, and that's on the website.
Great labels and tags, and these are the things that you will not get with the die cuts. This is completely different artwork and sayings as well.
Exactly. So wonderful job. It's just gorgeous,
It
gorgeous.
is just beautiful. All of the beautiful projects that you can do with Darkroom, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Day 4, we'll be looking forward to it.